Okay, here we are in the last page of the percent fraction decimal packet, and we have a list of numbers in fraction, percent, and decimal form. And what I want you to do is list them in order from least to greatest. And right now, because they're all in different forms, it's hard to do that. You can't compare apples to oranges. You can compare apples to apples. So the first thing we're going to do is change every number to a decimal. And you know how to do that. If you don't, look back at your notes and check out your mega notes. So pause the video and write the answers right here to all of those that we have. Change them to decimals. Okay, so now that you've written everything as a decimal, step 3 would be to line up those decimals. When you have a whole number, the decimal comes right after the whole number. It's implied, so I'm going to put that back in. And again, we can't compare apples to oranges. Right now, these numbers don't have the same amount of digits after the decimal. So it's going to be a lot easier to make all of them have the same amount of digits. When we do that, we can pretend like we don't even have decimals. So I see that the most number of digits after the decimal are 3 digits. So if I have 0.5, what's here but you don't see it? There is nothing there, so I'm going to write 0. I'm going to write 2 zeros so that I have 3 digits. So I'm going to add a 0 after this one, here, here. And we don't want to go too fast and assume that every single time I'm going to be writing zeros, because there is one problem here where I don't write zeros, and it's this one. Because you want to remember that that bar means repeating, and the thing that's repeating is just the 2, so I'm going to write 2's here, and they do go on forever, so I'm going to keep writing that. So this time I didn't write zeros. So now let's go least to greatest and number them next to it, and we'll rewrite it when we're done. So the smallest number, if we're on a number line, furthest to the left on a number line would be a negative. So the lowest number right now is the -7, and then I'm going to cross it off. I don't want to look at it anymore. Are there any other negatives? No. And then before I get to the positives, I'm going to need to cross over the 0. And there's a 0 right here. So that's my second number. Now let's stay close to 0. So that means I don't want to do these, the 5, 2, 2. I want to stick with 0. Oh wait, that's a whole number 1. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm still before 1. So is there anything with 0 here that's lowest? Oh, here's the only one with a 0 here, so that's got to be the lowest one. That's the third one. So aside from this one, we're going to do that later. We're doing everything. We're going to look at this. We're going to cover up this decimal, and look, the lowest number on this list that what we just crossed off is 5. 5 is lower than 222, 256, 100. I got a bunch of zeros here, but that goes with 1. And then I got 200, 250, and 500. That's why when you line up the decimals and put in the extra digits, it's so much easier to read. So I got 5. Is there anything else that comes before 100? So these are 200s, 200s. There's a 100, 200s, 200s, 500. So it's going to be this one, because remember that one's 1,000. It's got a 1 over there. So this is 100. That's going to be my fourth one. I'm going to cross it off. After the next number, this is like 1,000. We're ignoring the decimal. So the next number after 100 would be which one? 200. That's going to be the 5th. And then after 200, we're ignoring the decimal, would be 2 something. Looks like 250. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Am I wrong? I'm wrong, aren't I? Yep, it's not 250. It's 222. So let's put 6th here. And then after 222 would be 250. So this is the 7th number. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. So 222, 250, any more 200s? Oh, 256, so that's the eighth. Any other 200s, 300s, 400s, 500s, and then thousands. Did I miss any? Is there 9 numbers in this list? There's 9 numbers in this list. And the last thing that we have to do is retranslate them back to their original form. Okay, so we're just going to copy this down in their original form. Luckily, we have everything right next to each other. So the first one was -7, and the second one is 0. And so you're going to write those answers here at the bottom of the page. So here it is, least to greatest, -7, 0. 0.5%, 0.1, 1/5 is lower than 0.2 repeating, which is lower than 25%. 0.256 or 256 thousandths, read correctly, 1/2, 100%. And anything over 1 would have came after that. And thank you very much and have a good day.